call this meeting to order. And I apologize, I don't have any agendas. There again, that's the clerk's job, and I'm not the clerk. So I did get the agenda put up. We got the posting up, so if everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. There's enough flags up and down Main Street, I see. Thanks to Tom and Rob, Shelley, and Sue at the meat market. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody.
You already called the cop? Here?
Straighten up, Kathy.
I'm here early this week.
Okay, the next thing is the agenda acceptance. We've got public comment, appoint committee recommendation for clerk, discuss and act on future township business, including collection site, public comment, and adjourn. So is there a motion to approve the agenda as printed?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there support? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed no. Motion carried. Okay, public comment. We've only got Kathy up here. She signed up for the second. Anybody? Okay.
Can I sign up? I didn't see the sheet.
Yeah, I apologize, Joe. Well, you want to speak right now?
Yes, if I can.
Go right ahead, sir.
I did send an email out to the full board earlier today. I'd just like to read that to everybody. So I'm requesting that the board revisit the motion from the last meeting and consider one of two motions. One, have a complete independent.
Joseph, I have to apologize. That is not on the agenda.
It says any future business, which is pretty broad.
Well, can we save that for the second one?
No.
It's pretty broad, no, because by then your business will be done.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so one, I request have a complete independent audit review of the permit transactions to explain and account for the 322 permits that have not been explained and accounted for. Request a management letter and also request an explanation of their findings. Or two, a motion to refer this matter to the Michigan State Police for further investigation. In addition to that, there should be a demand that the treasurer abstain from the vote on these motions. The Rives Township treasurer signed an appointed official's ethics statement. Section 3 enumerates that a conflict of interest policy, and it's clear that voting on your own investigation, whether it be an internal audit or an external referral, will present a conflict of interest or give rise to the appearance of impropriety. Therefore, if the treasurer does vote, it will be a violation of Section 3, which will trigger Section 10, and if the board is to stand by this ethics statement, they will need to enforce this policy or ignore this statement. So is this ethics statement, worth anything that is printed on? Lastly, if the decision is to refer to an independent auditor, it should not go to our current auditor, Willis and Jurassic. It was made clear at the last meeting that they cannot be fair and impartial in this matter. Their duty is to all members of the board, not just one specific member. For the auditor to tell a sitting board member to do their own math and come up with a dollar amount is completely unprofessional. I do hope that this full board takes this matter seriously and handles it with full transparency.
Well said.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Okay. This time, in public comment. Oh, I'm sorry.
Should I speak at both or just one?
Is it in regard to an agenda item?
No.
Okay, then we'll save it for the second one. Okay. Moving on down for the appointment of the clerk. I want to take a minute to kind of go over a few things. I want to make sure that this board and the general public understand what it means to be without a clerk. I'm getting phone calls up from all over the county. I got one yesterday in regards to the elections. We have to get, we're going to have to make a decision. If we do not appoint a clerk, we have to make a decision to move forward with having the county run the election for us. Okay, with the understanding that it's the county's duty, it'll be their job, they'll hire whoever they hire to do the job. We have to fully pay for that, 100%. It's a minor, it's something small, but yet it's huge, because that starts the Tuesday after Memorial Day. Okay, is when that starts. Blackman Township just had their clerk step down, and they immediately appointed the deputy clerk. Their business, they are business as usual with no real hiccups. There's things that we need to think about. We had a discussion that ended up showing up on Facebook at some point, saying that we could authorize the supervisor to use a debit card to pay for the various bills that come in, consumer's bill, Frontier, whatever it might be that would need to be paid. By law, we can't do that. Okay, we can't prepay. Now, we do prepay at Avery's for our propane, because by buying that and prepaying, that gives you a discounted rate on your propane. So we're able to do something like that, but as far as just throwing money at something, we can't do. And that came right from the MTA. Other things that, and I'm certain that everybody's not thought of this, okay? The sewer. Okay, now think about this. The sewer, gravity and pumps down to this lift station right here across from the old decant building. Without power, without gas, that's where it stops, that's where it stays. And it can't be pumped to Jackson. Well, then the next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call that we've got sewer running across the road. Well, what do? Can't pay anybody. So who's going to come to our rescue, and who's going to come to our aid to help us? Yeah, the DEQ, yeah. We already had that issue up Rives Junction Road there a year or two ago, where those bolts failed on that air chamber. Thank God Jack Rickster handled that for us at DEQ. Township office, okay? It's very well known that our township office, we have a water issue. It's not an issue if the sump pumps are running. Okay, we've got a sump pump in there currently now. We have already authorized and paid for a sump pump, a backup sump pump to be installed. We've already authorized and paid for a backup generator. Right back to the same thing. If consumer shuts our gas off, shuts our electric off, the sump pumps aren't turning on, and neither is the generator. So we've got that issue with all of our records are in the basement at this point. This is, there again, something minor, but the sewer payment. We've got a sewer payment that's due in October. That has to be paid to the county. It's an interest payment that we have to pay every year. That's due in October. You will default on that because we can't pay it. Collection site. Okay, we're going to be in a situation where we will not be able to maintain the gates open at the collection site because of the simple fact that we cannot pay Modern to haul the garbage away. We can receive the money from the residents to pay for what they're dropping, but we can't leave. They can't leave there. Once that happens, we're in default of our contract. We're in default of our contract. I'm very certain that the residents don't know this. Both compactors at our collection site are owned by Modern. We do not own them. We lose our contract, both those compactors are going to disappear. At about 15 to 18, now it's probably up now because the price of steel's up. They're probably $20,000 probably on the used side of piece. Okay, those, once we void our contract, those will disappear. Something as simple, and I was driving around in the truck today and I thought about this, the lawnmower guy. We're going to ask this guy to mow our grass all summer long. It's 7 locations, and we're not going to pay him until he plows snow. This guy's got to eat too. He's not, I mean, I have not had a conversation with Brian, but I know that I know he's not gonna be very hep on it, and what do we do? What do we do if he says, I'm not mowing the grass because you guys can't pay me? You know, then the next thing you know, the ball field's this tall, and office is this tall, and fire barns are all this, you know? It's just, I just want everybody, including this board and the residents, to understand that it's not just not having somebody here or sitting in that office. It's way bigger than that. And I know these are things that I hit on, and I promise you, there's way more things that I have not thought of. And I just, you know, when we made a motion to approve the committee coming out of the Jackson Republican delegates, you know, we made that motion, and, you know, and I stated to Christine, I stated to Janina that, you know, we had Priscilla Hart, we had Jan Hayward. And I told Christine, I said, Christine, I said, if they come back and say Priscilla Hart's the person, I'll be the first one to make the motion. Okay, because we need a clerk. We absolutely need a clerk. Period. Kathy just asked me how long I've been doing this. Okay, I've been a supervisor for 14 and a half years. Been on this board for 26 and a half years. I have never, ever run across a situation like this. I mean, we had issues, we had hiccups along the way, but nothing like this, to where this will truly stop everything that we're doing out here. Everything stopped. And I truly don't want that to happen, okay? You know, there again, I especially, I've been here for as long as I have. I've lived here all my life. You know, and I don't want to say it's personal to me, but it is personal to me because, you know, Randy Avery would always identify me as Mr. Rives Junction because it seemed like I never left. You know, whether it be work or township or home, I was always here and could be reached. I mean, there's only one other guy that I know that's put the time in. Matter of fact, maybe I didn't put as much time as he has, and that's Marty Barnes standing right over there. Okay, and he's not down here for, you know, congratulations or anything. But, you know, we care about where we live. We care about everybody here. Are we always going to agree? Absolutely not. We just aren't. And that has nothing to do with the board, what color you are, has nothing to do with any of that. Okay? It's just, we're not always going to get along. We don't have to get along. We have to agree to work together is what we have to do. We don't always have to get along. And, you know, I don't know who called the police out here today. You know, as I stated, there was a few people here when we came down that, you know, I said, well, it's a nice day. Hopefully, you know, better, you know, everybody will be in a better mood and we won't have any issues tonight. I don't want issues, okay? I want things to run smooth. There's no reason for everybody to be, you know, and I'll use this line, and I'm not saying that these people on this side or this are against these people on this side. That's not the case. But why do we have to draw a line in the sand? Okay? I think that in the best interest of everybody in this township, the best interest would be to put a clerk in the position to finish out the next year and a half. And whoever wants these positions after the fact, and I've said this already once and I'm going to say it again, come and get them. Okay? Come and get them. Do it the right way. This is not the time to make a political move. Okay? This is the time to put a butt in the seat so that we can keep moving along the way that we always have as far as getting things done. Like I say, it's not the time for a political move. Everybody has the right next April to fill out the paperwork, get put on the ballot, run to their little heart's content, and if they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. That's all I've got to say. Is there anything anybody else would like to say on that? Okay. Then I'll make a motion to appoint the committee recommendation for clerk, Jan Hayward, to finish the term till November of '24. Is there a support?
We're gonna have a discussion about it first.
She supported it. Is there any discussion?
There is discussion. From the email that we received today,
Speak up, please.
from the email that we received today by the entire board, which Joseph Yang sent to us earlier, I think that we need to remind you,
Speak up, Bryce, can't hear you.
I think we need to remind you, Jerry, that Janina cannot vote on this issue.
Hold on a minute. What does this have to do with approving a clerk?
It has everything to do with it. Everything.
It has nothing to do with the clerk.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
There again, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. That has nothing to do with appointing a clerk. There was nothing in his letter had anything to do with appointing a clerk. Nothing.
In whose letter?
In Joseph Yang's email, excuse me, in Joseph Yang's email.
No, but the final outcome will determine that. And I'm having the discussion right now on the ethics of it. She cannot vote on
Why can't she
Speak
vote?
up.
it. She cannot vote on it
Please tell me why. I gotta know.
because of the fact that we were going to be putting out there in her place. She voted on some of the same stuff that she was doing. She went and cashed the checks, signed the checks.
And I, there again, we talked about this, and we didn't talk about this? I know I spoke with Christine in regards to it. What she was doing was she was doing exactly what she was trained to do. Okay?
She said she wasn't trained.
Not
We
correct.
can't have it both ways.
Not 100% correct, absolutely. Okay, there's nobody, I guarantee the deputy that they just hired into Blackman that took over their clerk's position, I guarantee she's not 100% trained either. Okay, it's just not possible. It is not possible for that to happen. There's no way that you just come in off the street. I don't care if you're winning an election or get appointed. You're not going to know every job that goes with that position. It's just not possible, right? And I promise, because of the discussion that has been had, there again, I had it with Christine. If Jan is appointed today, I guarantee that she would never approve a check without all the checks and balances, okay?
You can't have that.
Oh, the heck I can. I can. I tell you. Trust me, she's heard the
Don't trust
discussion.
you, that's just the problem.
You know what, Bryce? There again, it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It has everything to do with
It has nothing to do with it.
ethics, Jerry.
Where's yours?
I'm here.
Okay, so am I. So am I. So do you have anything else that goes with this?
Let's take this vote and see what happens. And then we go from there.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we'll roll call. Bryce?
No?
Christine?
No.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Motion dead. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we close the collection site
No?
indefinitely.
I got another motion.
Close it down.
We have to close
Hey,
everything.
hey, hold on.
That's in-
No, let me finish what I'm doing. Let me finish what I'm doing. I'd like to make a motion that we close the collection site indefinitely. How are you gonna pay the bill, Bryce?
I don't know yet.
There's no figuring it out.
You're a goddamn
No,
idiot.
hey, quiet down.
Hey.
Let's go. I'm going. Christine, I'm gonna tell you something too. All the
Right.
Two-faced.
No. Goodbye.
I tell everybody to go back and watch
Jesus.
Okay, there again, I make a motion that we close the collection site effective immediately. And we will not be able to, and cannot reopen until we have it working.
talking about how you're gonna pay this?
Who?
Police department. You know, the- those are stuff apart. You still got a monthly contract, whether or not you still or not.
How can we pay it, Fred? How can we pay it? We can't pay anything.
I know, but you're going to say it, you're stopping it right now.
What?
Give it another chance.
Give what another
You
chance?
got 45 days.
So we're supposed to then just allow Modern to come in every week and pull these dumpsters and continue piling up a bill that we can't pay?
We will pay it at the end of that period.
It's 6 months from now.
I didn't say 6 months, and I don't know why you keep saying 6 months.
When do you plan on appointing the clerk?
The county says 45 days,
To what?
till they go and put up a vote.
Yeah, you know when the election is? November. I have tried to tell you this, and you're not listening. 45 days from the day that last, from,
They have to call a special election 5 days after the 45.
oh, so they're gonna put an election together on day 50.
That's what they're saying.
No. Bryce,
That's what the law reads.
no, the law does not read that. There again, if we go the 45 days from the day that Judy's last day was, which was the 14th, is that right? 14th. You add 45 days, that gets us, I'm not doing the math, but it's gonna get us right around 1st of July. Okay?
Exactly.
The county then has 5 days to announce a special election. 5 days. They're not holding an election in 5 days.
All right.
They've got 5 days to announce it. And you want to know when the next election is? November. That's the day that the election will be. Okay?
Go with your thing, and then I've got a motion to make after that.
I believe that I made a motion that we close the collection site immediately, not to be reopened until we have a clerk in office. Is there support? We'll roll call. Bryce?
No.
Christine?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carried. I will get a hold of Nancy and have her get that posted. I will get a hold of Charlie Westra. To get it put on the website so that everybody's aware. There again, he has agreed to continue to do whatever posting needs to be done on the website until we get a clerk so he can be paid. So I'll get him to put that on the website. Okay. Anything else?
Are we on to the next part of the agenda?
This is all part of the agenda.
Is this the future?
Yes.
I'm making a motion for this board to immediately request an investigation by the Michigan State Police related to Janina Teskey's treasure of Rives Township. Furthermore, I move that this board cooperate with any future law enforcement investigation pertaining to this incident.
Is there support? Okay, roll call. Bryce? Christine? I vote no. And you? No? Motion's dead.
No, here we go again. You can
There
vote
again.
for your own motion.
There again.
Voting on our own motion.
So we're gonna ignore the code of ethics.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore the code of ethics.
I'm not a Rives voter, so that's not my information.
Hey,
That's
I'm
not
there
my-
again, and I'm gonna remind everybody again. Okay, Frank left. I don't need the contribution coming from the audience, okay? Just, it is what it is.
Do you remember the code of ethics that we signed a year ago? Every one of this board members did.
Sure did. Sure did.
You remember what number 3 is?
Oh, no, I
I will avoid participating in any public deliberation and decision-making process whenever it becomes apparent that my continued participation will present a conflict of interest or give rise to the appearance of impropriety.
Yes.
don't. There again. I'm I'm not her boss, I'm not your boss, I cannot tell her what to do. Okay, I can't.
You can suggest that she abstain.
Okay, who's talking?
I'll be quiet.
Thank
I'm
you.
just making a suggestion.
Number 10 is triggered now that she's gone and voted on this. I acknowledge that my failure to fulfill any of the foregoing commitments may result in my removal from the authority on which I serve.
Okay, there again, as I stated before, I'm not her boss, I'm not your boss. What else you got?
This will be taken to the State Attorney General's office and the governor will remove her.
Then I don't know what to tell you, Bryce. I guess you're gonna have to take it. I don't have the authority. What am I supposed to do, remove her from office? I don't have the authority to do that.
She signed herself.
There again, you're asking me.
No, I'm asking her.
Well, whether she wants to answer you or not, that's up to her. But it's got nothing to do with me.
Does this mean anything to you, Janina? What did you sign?
What else? What else you got?
Well, following that, I'm making a motion that this board, by virtue of the circumstances, compels any future or current treasurer or clerk to promote all board members to a hard copy or email at the end of each month's summary of the following starting immediately. Number 1, budget balance activity with remaining balances.
She's not in charge of the budget.
Provide proof their books are balanced starting April 1st, 2023. Clerk to present all bills for discussion and approval before authorization paid at each meeting, and 4 copies of all timesheet and payroll for all employees.
So I guess that would make sense when we have a clerk.
As soon as we get a clerk.
Okay.
I'll support.
I'm gonna have to ask you to reread that motion.
I'm making a motion that this,
So then when there's it to, well, I mean, some of the bills will have to be paid by.
that's true. Would have to do with the clerk though. So amend it to with the clerk becomes available as this goes into effect.
Right, well, right now, we have a consent agenda which pays any reoccurring charge. Okay, so anything that would come up odd would have to be handled as an individual, which that's the way it is right now. So the consent agenda, I mean, you know, that would be, like I say, that's the way that that's set up today. Well, like, I mean, we have sewer bills. You know, that was another thing too I forgot to mention too about, you know, we still have black, we still have charges that are gonna come out of black. Granted, we still have credit with them, but I don't think that credit's gonna be in 6 months. Now, are they gonna shut it off? I hope not. But then again, if we lose power out here, we can't pump it black with it. And what number do you want me to have people call you at when they call looking for the clerk? Good. Christine, same thing? Good. If anybody like to talk to you, I'll pass their numbers, I'll pass your numbers along. Are you not going forward with what it was that you had for motion?
No, it's fine because we have recurring bills paid automatically. And that's already in the budget. No, I mean, that's fine. If you want to see the budget, just say you want to see the budget.
I'd like to see the balance.
Right, but you can't get a budget because we don't have a clerk.
He said when there's a treasurer.
Can we have this, can we bring that motion up when we have one? Because anything that we do right now doesn't really mean
That's
nothing.
true, but you didn't go and address any of my suggestions put on the agenda this week, so I'm not certain that you're going to do that again.
Which part?
All 3 of them. The very first one was the January, or the June 8th to the June 15th.
I don't see that that's gonna be an issue.
Well, I do, but and I thought it was a good way of keeping the expenses down. You didn't have to pay the extra thing for a special meeting.
Well, we shouldn't, I mean, we shouldn't, now, as of right now, we are going to have a special meeting next week again.
Really?
I gotta have the paperwork drafted from the attorney and the state election bureau attorney. Gotta get that drafted, and then we've got to approve. It's not just as simple as just call the Jackson County Election Bureau and say, hey, I think I want you to run our elections. We gotta have all the paperwork documented and submitted back to them in order for them to be able to do that. It's not, that's why I say, this thing is way deeper than just not having a clerk.
I'll bring up this next one. Either get the clerk or June 8th, whichever.
Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Okay. Moving on to public comment. Kathy Carter.
When you get a hold of the lawyer, you might want to talk to him about going after the auditors for not catching this 2 years ago, so we aren't in this mess. So maybe we can recoup some of the expenses that this has incurred because they didn't do their jobs.
And you, sir, I did not get your name. What's your name?
Oh, Scott Augby,
Could you spell that last name, sir?
A-U-G-H, N as in Nancy, E-Y.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, am I right? Oh,
Yes, sir.
how long do I have?
Just real briefly, just a comment on the recent appearance of Corey Kennedy and Jennings, Russ Jennings and the other gentleman, the other meeting. None of those people understand anything about elections or election integrity. Probably the person that's probably most versed, and I don't mean this in an arrogant way, is me, because I've been part of election investigation for almost 2 years, and I'm spearheading the locus standi criminal investigation into the Michigan Bureau of Elections statewide. And you're working for the prosecutor's office now, correct?
No.
Okay, I was told something
I work for
different.
the public defender's
I was
office.
told something different in the county clerk's office, but that being said, we're investigating Christine Beecher here, and we've uncovered some financial things. I will notify the law enforcement once we get some corroborating evidence on some things. But that being said, I've spoken to the deputy. We have initiated the locus standi criminal investigations here in Jackson County. And the subjects of the investigation are not local clerks. They're actually people, public officials in Lansing. And we will continue. We're actually in one prosecutor's office. We are within law enforcement in 10 counties, but we have active investigations in 17 or 18 counties right now. And we will continue to move forward, but I have talked with the deputy here. We do have a couple people in Rives Township that will be filing the criminal complaint, and we've got to take some legal action against the sheriff to do his job, because he's refused to do his job on this election crimes before, and we've got to continue to pursue him. I just wanted to pass that along, and this gentleman right here, he doesn't speak up very well, and in many ways, sir, you have an obligation to speak to the public, not just to me, but to your public here. But you know what? If you just want to be oppositional, I would recommend sports, athletics, because you're not very bright.
That's enough.
You
don't even live here.
Okay,
I didn't sign my name. I didn't have access to that. May I speak?
well, you had access, you just didn't come up and do it.
Sure, whatever. Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
This community is bleeding. This community on both sides of the aisle are bleeding. They're in pain. We want a functional township leadership. Tonight we've heard you say multiple times, you can't tell Jeannie to do what to do because you're her boss. You're not her boss. It's not my job. I respect that. If that's how you feel, perfect. We can let lawyers and courts know that, and they can figure it out. There's a list of township supervisors' jobs that is given through MCL. Those are your jobs. I'm not arguing with you about that. But this township needs a leader. I don't see a leader. I see somebody who is willing to say, it ain't my job. Well, whatever. Make excuses, but the fact of the matter is you need to take the bull by the horns. You're the leader of this township, and you need to direct these people. Instead of asking Bryce or Christy, what are we going to do? You need to tell them and give them ideas what to do. You're the leader. You're the
Okay, you all
supervisor of the
set?
township. Is my 3 minutes up?
Yeah, I'm getting close.
Close enough. Thank you.
And I'd like to add on what Alex is, he's making it sound like that, that I just sit back and don't do anything. And I want to clear something up. I want to make this very clear. This is not a dictatorship, okay? I don't have the ability to tell anybody up here what to do, period. Doesn't matter who it is and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Because if that was the case, we'd have a clerk appointed, okay? I did not ask you to answer me. I did not ask you to answer me. So, that's, there again, that's one person's opinion. For me to say it's not my job, nowhere in the playbook for this township or government in the state of Michigan does it say the supervisor is responsible for paying the electric bill because we don't have a clerk and can pay bills, or tell the treasurer that, I'm sorry, but you can't do that. Okay, she's her own person. She's a grown woman. She'll vote how she feels. If it's incorrect, that's on her. That's not on me. No different than Bryce or Christine. Okay, it's not on me. I can't tell them what to do or what not to do, because if I could, we wouldn't be in this situation. And that is the case that we are in a situation, and there again, as I said, we're not all going to agree, but we got to get along and we got to work together. And at this point, it's not working out very well. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I know.
My name is Jessica Oberlin, and I just wondered for the safety and well-being of the people down this road, how long do we have until the sewage starts overflowing?
Oh, God.
Is there a motion to dismiss? Is there support? All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Thank you. To answer your question, ma'am, it's whenever the, if the power gets shut off. If the power gets shut off, it's going to be. We'll give it 3-4 hours.
What? Well, don't you get 90 days after your power gets shut off? After you stop paying your bill?
I always pay my electric bill, so I don't know.
So do I, but there's quite a period of time
I don't
before
know.
it
Well, I don't think it's going to be instantaneous. But the bottom line is, it's not like I can run up to the township. It's not like I can go up to the township safe, grab a check out of the checkbook, and run it to town.
You didn't pay last month's bill?
At my house?
I don't know, did you pay it?
Don't know. I'll get, when I get the paperwork from the county through the attorney for the election, I'll reach out and we'll have to have another meeting. They got to get started on it the Tuesday after or Memorial.
We having a meeting next week or what?
We're gonna have to.
Decide that?
We're gonna have to because we got to get the.
Did you decide what day yet?
I don't. The paperwork's got to be drafted.
I mean, you could let us know since you can't run the computer.
I don't know. Like I said, yeah, you're right. It's not my job. Okay, it's not my job.
Yeah, well.
If there were more people that would step up instead of mouth off, it'd be great.